All right, happy Friday to you. I'm Fox 26 meteorologist Ramisha Shade. About 3 more weeks to go in our 2023 hurricane season, and it's been exceptionally quiet so far this week. But just when you start to think we're not going to have anything until the end of the season or through the end of the season, we are starting to see a little bit of action developing out there, at least potentially. Nothing right now, but something that could start to get going as we go into next week. So we are tracking that, and I'll update that in just a minute. But I do want to show you that we are mainly quiet, at least for most of the tropics, but we are monitoring an area in the southwestern Caribbean where we could have some potential development. So it is this area north of Panama in Central America, and it is basically a fairly disorganized area of showers and storms right now, but we do have the potential for this to kind of get its act together. There's some warm water still here, low to middle 80 sea surface temps, and this could get going as we go into the beginning to middle of next week. We could see a broad area of low pressure develop as it kind of drifts to the north, and that could be another tropical system. We can't rule that out. It looks like the atmospheric conditions out there are going to be favorable for at least a shot for this to become a tropical cyclone. So we are going to be monitoring that very closely. Good news though, as we go into the weekend, no tropical cyclone formation expected during the next 48 hours. So that means for Saturday and for Sunday, we should keep things quiet across the Atlantic, Caribbean, Gulf of Mexico. We're not expecting any tropical depressions, tropical storms, or hurricanes to form. However, I do want to give you a closer view of where we could have some potential trouble for next week. Like I said, right now, just a fairly disorganized area of showers and storms. It's going to be off to the east and southeast of the El Salvador area, north of Panama, and it is this area that you see outlined in the yellow right now in the southwestern Caribbean. 0% chance for this area of showers and storms to quickly blow up into a tropical cyclone over the next 2 days, but there's a 30% chance that this could develop into a tropical depression, a tropical storm, or maybe something even stronger over the next week. That will be over the next 7 days. The reason why, we've still got fairly warm water temps for parts of the Caribbean. In the Gulf of Mexico, that water's starting to cool down a touch, especially the northern Gulf, but we've still got middle 80s for the western portion of the Caribbean, and we've got low to middle 80s as well for central and eastern parts of the Caribbean. So that is still water warm enough to help to fuel these systems, help them to strengthen, help them to grow, and that is why we are still monitoring this closely. Like I said yesterday and all the previous days, it's not over until it's over. There's still at least that small chance that we could have some possible development out there. If we did get this, it would be late in the season, a late season surprise, but hopefully it won't amount to much or come close to us. It is in the Caribbean, so there's always a chance it could eventually drift north into the Gulf, but for now, the chances of that happening would be on the low side. Of course, we do have about 3 more weeks to go in our hurricane season for this year. Hurricane season officially ending on November 30th. But if we were to get that system in the southwestern Caribbean going, the name would be Vince if it were to develop into another tropical storm. So we can't totally rule it out. Like I said, there's a low 30% chance of that happening at this point, but it will likely be closer to the middle of next week before we see potentially another tropical system, another named storm out there in the Caribbean. If we were to get to Vince, of course, that final name on the list for this season would be Whitney. So we've gone through quite a few names for this season. Already 20 named storms, 7 hurricanes, 3 major hurricanes. Of course, if we do get that system in the Caribbean to develop next week, that would put us up to 21 named storms. But we are already above normal for the number of storms for this hurricane season, and average for the number of hurricanes, including those major hurricanes. So all this week so far, didn't really have much to update you on, but we do now have one system that we are tracking out there, and it looks like there is at least a low chance that it could develop into a tropical system, but we'll have to likely wait until next week, beginning to middle of next week, to see if that area of low pressure can get its act together and start to form in the western to southwestern Caribbean. So that's all we have happening out there. Quiet in the eastern Pacific, quiet in the central Pacific, but maybe some trouble brewing in the southwestern Caribbean. Well, I'm Fox 26 meteorologist Ramisha Shade. Make sure to download our Fox 26 weather app to get any tropical updates. Of course, you can get your local weather there as well. There's lots to talk about there with a lot of rounds of rain rain headed our way in Houston. So make sure to grab our Fox 26 weather app so you can be up to date as you're out and about enjoying the upcoming weekend. Happy early Veterans Day to you out there, and have a great weekend.